Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan. This is basically the 10th part of the advanced PhD. In this, one of the person told that how basically we can do the testing plan basically. For example, there are in India basically there are 1 lakh residential building. There are 1 lakh software company park. There are more than 50,000 software buildings basically. More than 5 lakh commercial complex. I'm talking about India basically. So one of the person told that how basically the power company knows that basically this place basically is if condition data, this place basically is of while condition data, because they are taking data, right? And while condition is working also. For loop basically is working in the software industry. User controls basically are working. That means power company have the data. That is basically 100% sure. 100% sure basically. So one other person told that data basically have, but that are not tested. That is untested data basically, which has created but not tested. And it's not so easy to test the data also basically, because 1 lakh commercial complex means you can just imagine 1 lakh commercial complex, 50,000 software company park basically, you can just imagine basically it's not possible to check the data. So one of the person told that what is the best way to check this, because you have to check basically, without check basically how you can pass the data to universe basically, or basically you have already passed basically. Mostly basically this has passed without testing. So one of the person told that is there any disadvantage basically of this everything basically? Without testing basically the data has passed, that we can't say anything basically. But nothing basically big will not happen basically. Like planet will get crashed with each other, satellite will get crashed with each other, astro stone basically will merge with each other, all the planets will get merged with each other. That is not going to happen. That is 100% sure. The reason universe group basically has accepted that without testing. That means without testing also they have accepted. That means this is not going to happen. Otherwise basically if there is a more risk, then they might not have been accepted that UTC basically. That is the unit test cases basically. So that is the product basically. So without test also basically they have accepted. Without test also basically they accepted. That means there is less risk basically in this. That's why basically they have accepted. Otherwise basically they might not accept it. Otherwise they might not accept this. So one of the person told that might be correct also. We can't say that basically 100% sure basically this is correct and this is wrong. 100% basically we can't say. So one of the person told that 100% basically that is not possible to say. So one of the person told that how basically the testing plan is going to execute basically. For example, user controls are there. In user controls basically the 10,000 cities basically are there. 10,000 cities basically are passing the power supply data to computer. That's why basically the user controls are getting there basically. Are there no basically. User controls basically, computers basically is getting display. That means 10,000 city basically is passing the power supply data basically. That's why basically you can able to view the stuff basically. Otherwise basically if the 10,000 city basically will not pass the data, then user control will not get display. That is 100% sure basically. But it's not tested. That is the only problem. And that is very dangerous stuff basically, which has not tested and send the data to the university. And they have accepted that means it might be less risk basically. That's why basically they might have accepted. So planet will not get accident, galaxy will not get touch with each other, satellite will not get touch with each other. That's why basically they accepted it. That's why basically they accepted it. Otherwise basically they will not accept this. Otherwise basically they will not accept this basically. So one of the person told that testing plan basically is very dangerous stuff basically. That also up to this whole stuff basically. If without testing sorry, if this was tested long before basically as the creation was happening, then there might not be issue basically. But it has not tested, that means it's the issue basically. That means it's the issue basically. So one of the person told that basically is the construction industry basically who has not tested it, and Indian government basically who actually without tested basically they send the data to university. That is the NASA and ISRO group basically. NASA means USA, that is half of the people basically are Indian. So this group basically not tested, and so there might be less risk. That's why basically they have sent the data to university. Otherwise they will not send basically. That is also 100% sure basically. Because nobody want to finish the university. Our planet people basically don't want to finish the university. So one of the person told that there might be some reason basically that without testing basically they send the data to the university. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic basically, how basically the UTC is going to prepare of this entire creation, because this is not prepared, that is 100% sure. But how basically this can be prepared, that is the next topic basically which we are going to discuss in next video basically. Please subscribe my channel basically so that basically you can get the immediate updates basically of the latest videos. So please subscribe it and please subscribe the channel.